Hey, what's up, guys? Joshua 6 Up Tabletop. Happy New Year to everybody out there. Continuing in our kind of product review line, doing a review. This is Wargames Atlantic, and this is their Age of Reason Minutemen box set. Once again, for the 250. Got kind of a new camera setup here, so trying it out for the first time. This goes along with the British Grenadier set that they released. So yeah, we'll be reviewing these models, taking a look at the sprues, looking at some of the painted figures, and yeah, so happy to have another plastic militia Minutemen-ish set. Great for my project at Battle of Bunker Hill, and always good to see new plastics on the line. Once again, like I said, with the Grenadiers, this box art is pretty good. I think I like the Grenadiers a little bit better, but I mean, I think the packaging overall really catches your eye. And let's get into what's in the box. Alright, hopefully I'm not catching too many shadows here, but let's get into it. So as you can see, so this sprue, what's contained in the box is 6 of these sprues. There's 5 bodies and a couple different configurations with this. So you have 30 Minutemen in this box, nothing else, no bases, no booklets, anything like that. It's pretty standard with what I've seen from Wargames Atlantic. Not too complicated to build. Overall, I think the quality is pretty good. You have a mix of heads up here on the right, as you can see. There's a couple different arm, I guess, sections. There's a couple loose arms. So, for instance, here's a shouldered musket right here, and so that would be for the left arm, and there's basically any number of right arms you could attach with that. So there's a couple selections like that. There's also numbered selections. So for instance, this is a 2R right here, so that would correspond to the 2L. So we have a couple different combos. At first glance, I think this is a good sprue, pretty good quality overall, not too bad on the mold lines. It is unfortunate that the combo of 5R, 5L, and 4R and 4L, which is the basically shouldered musket, the shoulder joint, I guess the shooting musket, but the shoulder joint basically does not go flush with the model. And so when trying to put those together, I had to do some serious trim work. I guess I had to cut the stock and the shoulder stock of the musket, like underneath the arm. I also had to trim a little bit of the chest on one of these models. Say for instance, this was the model. I basically snipped like a good portion of his left vest and filed it down to even get these arms to fit. So that's basically a pretty big negative, if I'm being honest. I expect a kit like this to have those flaws figured out, and when I just put the glue on, especially without instructions, this doesn't come across as an advanced modeling kit, and having your users trim and have to cut just to have the arms flush on the shoulder joint is certainly not desired. But with that being said, let's take a look at all the different poses you can make from this kit. Alright, first pose we have here is just the gentleman reloading his musket. So it's a pretty good pose. Fits pretty well, easy to put together. These are all kind of like work in progress figures, so you'll see the end result in a minute or so here. Pose 2 is a little bit different. It's kind of reloading. Third pose is walking with the musket ready, prepared to shoulder and shoot. I think this is a good pose. 2 poses are kind of the ones that have the most versatile, I guess. As I talked about earlier, you have the shouldered musket, so you could attach whatever arm you want. For his right arm, same with this. It's just he's carrying the musket kind of in an easy position. and you could attach whatever arms you want there. So pretty happy with how those all turned out. These are the 4R and 5R and 4L and 5L. So this is the right and left. After a bit of work, they did turn out pretty well. I think this is important that I was able to get these to work on the models, because I was really looking forward to having a bunch of militia and Minutemen with their muskets shooting. I don't know if you can see a little bit of the gap on the shoulders, but I definitely did do my best. But yep, there we go. This is the shooting poses, and I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, here it is. Here's my average. This is the average size unit for me in black powder. So I have 16 figures, as you can see, and in my opinion, it looks quite nice when it's put together. And after some work, it was worth it, having the muskets in the shooting position and doing the extra modeling work for the kit. So you can see here I stuck to just some blues, reds, and like a khaki color. You can do a lot with these kits, and overall I'm pretty happy with how they turned out. I painted these just to like a battle standard for me, at least. Nothing too complicated. I didn't overly detail them. I used the same washes I've used for my other models in this Bunker Hill project I've been doing. Alright, let's talk a little bit about positives and negatives of this kit, and then I'll compare them just briefly to some other plastics I have. Positive, it's another plastic kit. Out there, 3D printing, resin, there's a lot of different options. I will always be somewhat grateful for manufacturers just putting out a simple, easy to build plastic kit for most of the rank and file, militia. There's not too many kits that are out there, or maybe there are, and haven't been exposed to them in the mainstream. So happy to see this. I think the detail is pretty good. I have no complaints really about the detail of the models, the mold line removal, hardly anything to clean up. I think the head variety is nice, the hat variety. I think there's enough to make your guys seem different. The different poses are nice. Having like 7 basically different poses that you can do. You can have your guys pretty uniformed, or you can have a nice little variety. Talking about some of the negatives, as I mentioned earlier, it's really unfortunate in the kit that the 2 poses with the arms, with the shooting muskets, take a lot of modeling work and cutting and filing to have them fit correctly. I was a little surprised not to see any hunting gear as one of the options for the bodies, and they all have their coats and trousers and vests, but it's pretty common for militia and even in the regular army for troops to wear hunting gear. So I feel like that was a miss. Probably could have been easy to sculpt. Have one man in hunting gear, so that would give you just a couple, and that would even add to the non-uniformed look that the militia would have. Not really any. It's kind of a mix. This is like a mixed point. No command, no drummers, nothing like that. I'm not sure if they're doing a separate kit for that. It's not that big of a deal for me. As I can see here, I'll just have this one guy with his finger pointing, and that will be my leader. I do have some Brigade Games medals, command squad, so I'll mix those in for my later squads. But it's just something to keep a note of if you like having a standard bearer, a flag bearer, some drummers, and some type of captain or leader. This box doesn't have this. This box also doesn't have bases, which I'm fine with, because a lot of people base. There's not really one uniformed base size. It's just depending on the game and what you and your opponents agree to. So I'll take a look at these compared to some other plastics, and we'll close it out.
It's a different manufacturer's scroll.
This is just to provide some detail painted in a pretty similar way and pretty similar pattern to the quality and different types of plastic miniatures that are out there. So this is Joshua 6 Up Tabletop. Really appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.